What is up, Bearded Nation? Allek from Bearded Collectibles coming to you with our podcast, our episode 27 podcast. As always, I have my co-host Tony.
What's up, guys?
And first and foremost, let me just say that I want to apologize for our absence. Life. I mean, there's nothing more I can say to that than just life. Life happens, and unfortunately, podcast got delayed because of it. I hope you guys can understand. Going forward, we're really trying to do this on a weekly basis. We really enjoy doing these podcasts. So first and foremost, I just want to say apologies. I know that you guys expect these on Tuesday or Wednesday. We actually record them on Tuesdays, publish them on Wednesday. But it's been a while. So I just want to first and foremost say thank you for listening. We do apologize for the delay. But let's get started on some of the fantastic stuff that we have going on. As always, guys, please like, subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube channel. The Facebook group or the Facebook channel is a BC Gaming Podcast. And from there, you can message Tony and I directly. We're both admins on that page. And we'll be able to read and respond correctly and stuff of that nature. So, like I said, apologies for being late. But one of the things I want to talk about is the ARG recap, right? I wanted to make this this podcast, obviously, when I got back from San Jose. As I previously mentioned, life happened. Life does happen. And let me just say, the event looked fantastic. I got to give props to ARG and Jim for putting together such a great event. Over 500 players registered. And that's where my issue lies, right? So, beginning of round one, they paired everyone up. It wasn't round one. It was just like a pre-round one, so I guess round zero. And then they dropped everyone who didn't attend. So, instead of being a top 64 cut, like it should have been, it was a top 32 cut for 500 players. I guess 570 registered, and only 500 showed up. I don't agree with that.
I mean, if they paid, it should count. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so my understanding is that obviously we had to be out by a certain time frame, which was 11 p.m. My thing is, if this was known, maybe we should have got somewhere that you can be past 11. And now, mind you, there's people that's mentioned, maybe a lot of venues like that, blah blah blah. I know for a fact that if it was hosted like at a hotel. Or somewhere that's within price range, and I hope I'm speaking without knowing really the facts per se, because I don't know the price difference between the convention there, how much that costs versus like a hotel. But people's arguments about it, that venues like that or venues in general close at a certain time, I'm gonna have to call shenanigans on that, because I know for a fact that the weddings I've been to, we're usually there to 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Full bar open, and we're drinking and having a great time. I feel like the venue should have been selected based on those parameters versus, I guess, where it was, per se, just for a time base, so we could have had the top 64 cut. Because from what I've heard from judges who actually judged the event, is that it was mentioned that regardless of however many people showed up, it was still going to be a Swiss 9-round cut to top 32. Regardless. I don't know if people know that. Tony, what do you think about that, man?
I mean, on one hand, I get it. But it's just rough when, I know people that went, X and 2 weren't even close to top 32 because of the number of bodies that were in the tournament. And that just doesn't seem fair. A lot of people traveled. The tournament, I don't say it was expensive, but it wasn't cheap, So you're just, X and 1 to make top, that seems really rough.
Yeah, for sure. And, again, there was a lot of X2s that just didn't make the cut. Perfect example, Bearded Collectible sponsor player Matthew Combs. He came in 34th. 34th. In the meta where it was just so shitty to play Mecha Frieza, and in my vlog that I posted, I didn't want to play Mecha Frieza. But like, what were my options really? Like,
Play
granted, like
or scrub out. That's kind of your options.
well, per se, yes, or like Danny Hype with the Super Saiyan 3 build, which by the way was absolutely bonkers to watch. But I feel like stuff like that needs like like in the format of Bloodlust. If you're playing an opponent that knows how to properly Bloodlust the play to get out Xeno and to shuffle things in, it's not gonna work. Because I mean, if it happens in game one, I'm gonna hold my Bloodlust forever. I'm not gonna Bloodlust anything else but that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I wish it was a top 64 cut. And shout out to Pat. Regardless if it was top 64 cut, he came in at 65.
Right.
So he wouldn't have made it either way.
You just get shit on.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where I really wish it would have been top 64 for the community. The last regional, Florida won 6 out of the 7. This was the last regional, and it should have been top 64. Like, the amount of people that were going there, it should have been top 64.
Easily.
500 players, guys. Like, good lord. Guys, if you disagree with me, please comment down below, and we will review the comments next week on the podcast. I promise you there will be one next week. If you disagree with me, please let us know, because I feel like it should have been top 64.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, it's not even a question.
And I don't know any group or any other game that does it that way. Magic, Pokemon, like the ones that matter, don't do that. Right, Tony?
I mean, I agree. Like, it's number of players. Once you get to a certain number of players / rounds, that's when the split changes. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just be like, well, this major organized play event that is so big, and some people came to it, but we're still going to say, fuck it, top 32. Deal.
Yeah, and another kicker, right? Here's another kicker for the ARG San Jose. Judges were told that there was level 2 testing there. That's why most of the judges went to this event, right? So they can be the first level 2 judges, and there wasn't. So some judges were kind of salty because they wanted to get that level 2 under their belt so they can be the first, or proceed forward and do bigger things, but there wasn't. So I don't know. I mean, Bandai was supposed to be doing the testing there, from my understanding, from what was posted in the past, and it just didn't happen. Like, I'm just confused on the miscommunication. If this was known beforehand that there was not going to be level 2 judges or level 2 testing there for judges, it should have been told. Because I feel like if that was the case, there would have been a lot of judges who did not go, and I feel like that's the reason why it was not told beforehand once the information was acquired.
Well, I mean, that's assuming a lot. We can't, just know exactly what happened, but that is like, I'm sure it wasn't that day. Like, oh, by the way, we're not showing up. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it wasn't like,
that's what I mean. Like, I'm sure it was known beforehand, right?
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the judges who went there specifically for level 2 tests would have known that there was not a level 2 test, they wouldn't have spent their money to fly out to California. And it's not just anywhere in California. Like, we're talking about San Jose, which is like Silicon Valley. It is not cheap. Like, I consider that more expensive than Hawaii. So,
well, I'd rather go to Hawaii anyway. But that's neither here nor there.
Yo, how about we have a bearded regional in Hawaii? We'll talk about that shortly after. I'm not paying for if Team Bearded players, if you're listening to this, I'm not paying for your flights. You have to get there on your own. Sorry, Fern.
Fern, no.
So that's that. So, especially with ARG, so how the team performed. So we were eliminated in top 8, right? Top 8, yep. The last 2 players were Ben and I want to say Chad.
Wow, I don't even know who made it. What a squad.
Again, this is why I wanted to do these week after week, because now I have to recall 3 weeks back, and there's a lot of stuff that happened 3 weeks ago. But I know Ben was the last one standing, and then we got eliminated by Boris, who's a good player from PPG, and then Boris got eliminated in top 4. Or was top 6? It's one of those. I just know we were eliminated, and it was a close game. I was watching the game, and then after that, we all just went out and had a great time. My mistakes.
Forgot everything after that.
Yeah. My mistakes of that tournament. So I was a bounty player. I was selected to be a bounty player. I had a great time as being a bounty player. People were like, "Oh, I get the packs if I beat you." I'm like, "You can try." And round 1, I faced a Pan player, obliterated Pan. Like I felt bad for the Pan player. I was playing Mecha Apes. Surprise! Round 2, game 1. I'm playing this Super Saiyan 3 build. I'm like, cool. He's probably gonna, I really didn't know what to expect. As soon as I saw the one drop Goku, I was like, crap. Is this guy gonna try to UI me? And literally like 2 or 3 turns later, like I couldn't get apes out, I couldn't get nothing out. I wasn't drawing what I needed, and he evolves into Super Saiyan into UI Goku. I'm at 4 life. He swings. Clearly, I take triple strike to the face. You can't combo. You can't do anything really when UI swings.
You can take it.
I took it. His mistake was leaving me at 1 life. He could have killed me. But I guess he miscounted. Oh no, so what happened was that I was at 5 life. He swung with leader. I got down to 4 life. He evolved UI Goku and swung and 3, triple strike to the face. And he passed when I was at 1 life. And I was like, boy, that's your mistake. I had Shigesh Kid Goku in hand. Guess what happens when I swing with leader?
No more UI Goku.
No more UI Goku. And then I was able to march and so the game lasted a few turns because clearly I couldn't pay for life for March. I was like at 5 energy and I was able to do a lot of stuff and swing and kill him because I just don't know. He's a very nice guy. I wish I remember his name. I could probably pull it from the one of the cool things that I guess ARG did was that they used a Bandai system so you can see who your opponent was online versus having to go to the piece of paper. So I was always at the table first at my match because I had the link on my phone, so I was able to see who I was facing. And I believe round 3 I faced. I know his nickname is Professor from Shenron's Lair. Let me actually get his actual name. And very nice guy. He was playing Black Trunks, man. That I had to reread a lot of cards, especially his leader card, because I was his. I just didn't know what to do against that deck. Like I won game 1, he won game 2, or vice versa. See, this is why I don't even remember. And then we tied.
I hate ties.
Yeah, Josh Williamson, the professor. Yep. Very, very nice guy. I met a lot of guys there from Shenron's Lair. Shout outs to Marcus. I believe I met Chris over there too. I know I met a few of you guys out there. Amir was also a fellow bounty player. He's one of the biggest trolls on the group page. But shout out to him. And long story short, my mistakes were that I went too wide on 2 games and it got me 2 ties, and which I should have won those games. And then my 2 losses were I drew horribly, but I felt like I got that because I got those ties. So it was one of those things where, so at the end of the day, I ended as 2-2-2, and as soon as I got I was like, I'm dropping because there's no way I'm gonna make top. I just went and tried to cheer on everyone who at day 1 was trying to fight out for the top 32 because it wasn't top 64, and go that route. But going forward, I will be playing. And here's the thing: some of my mistakes is because I don't know if you guys know, but at my tournaments, I do not play in my tournaments because I'm just not a big fan of it. What I'm gonna start doing, and And the reason why is because, like, in the past, I've seen shops who participate in the tournaments and take prize support for themselves when they win. I'm not a big fan of that. Obviously, clearly, because I don't play my own tournaments. Going forward, I'm going to be playing my own tournaments when I have time and not take prize support. So if I come in like first or second, then I just remove my name and then the next person up fills my spot and so on and so forth. But I feel like because my lack of playing these last few months really contributed to those mistakes. So you live and you learn. Dragon Ball, and also like one of the things I was worried about the most was side decking. I didn't play in Orlando because I judged Orlando, or I helped judge Orlando, and I never really played in a game where side decking was a thing. So I played Magic in the past, but it was just more like local stuff, nothing like at a regional. Side decking like blew my mind when I played it because, for example, with the Pan deck, game 2, I sided in all my battering lasers. So every time he tried to topo, no, buddy, hold on. Topo going bye-bye with the battering.
Let's say no.
Let's say no. Topo. Yeah, and like I had so much fun using sideboard that, not gonna lie, it's one of the reasons why I'm gonna start playing more Magic here and there. Like I just had so much fun. Like the community, I don't know, but I just had fun with the sideboarding that it brings a different aspect to the game than I previously thought. Right, Tony?
Right? That's like my favorite thing. That's like why I like Magic, before anything else. Is because the sideboard, like your deck isn't, you don't just bring your deck. You have to bring a deck and a half. Well, it's more like a quarter, but there's just so many cool things you could do that's unique because of the sideboard. Like, I've seen people in Dragon Ball who they're 15 cards, like, surprise, their deck's a whole different deck now. They change the colors and everything.
Exactly. Like, one of my side deck cards was, like, well, two of them was, like, Zarbon and King Vegeta's Surprise Attack. So that was one of our techs was Zarbon. You're able to, when you combo it on your turn, or I'm sorry, on your opponent's turn, you're able to restand one of your battle cards. And if someone has, if you're able to King Vegeta's Surprise Attack on a blocker, like, and you're able to restand them, if they have like an onslaught field, you're like, come at me, bro. Who's gonna die right now? So
especially if it's like Android 16. I guess you could just help on that, but
Well, but Android 16 like awakens on kill, so as long as he lives. But he's green, and we were playing like pretty much yellow with splash of really the blues were Sensu Beans and Monacos, and green was I sideboarded Father Son Kamehameha, and let me tell you that card was
for 0.
Well, yeah, so that card was nuts. So I sideboarded that in a game that we tied because the guy took game 1, so I sideboarded was in, and he was able to get like monkeys out quick, and I was like, hey, my next turn, like I was able to draw into 2 of them. One off to draw my turn and swing with leader, and I was able to blow them out pretty quick. So, card. I hate the fact that it says choose. I hate the fact that how barrier was worded. Let me just say that barrier should not have been ruled the way it is. I feel like it should have been ruled differently. If I can't choose you, like it, I just don't know. Like barrier. See, and here's the thing: like barrier going forward, like the developers are going to have to think about assigning barrier to anybody. It's not like indestructible, because indestructible per se is really, we've only seen it like on Samazu, like which it should be. Like it's per the lore, if you want to call it that. But
yeah,
barrier,
it's fine.
But I mean, but you know what I mean, though, right? Like barrier on a lot of cards is going to probably hurt the game going forward.
Yeah, I mean it's really strong.
And barrier with that. I don't know if you saw that Ribrian card.
I did.
Oh my god. So I wonder if
the biggest problem with barrier is that they're giving barrier to people who shouldn't have it. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
You can't be a bomb and then have barrier.
Yeah, that's 100% what I'm saying. But I'm just wondering if Blackthorn's coming back, because Ribrian is Ribrian now and she's in it. So in Charm of Power, well, we will see.
Pretty strong.
Pretty strong. It's not the word for that, man. She got her own version of March.
Yeah, but are the other girls any good?
They're strong. The thing is, like, with her version of March is like you can have them in the graveyard, and then I believe that's when they come out. So you can combo with them, and then use her version of March to bring them out.
So you pretty much can't get people back after eliminating Tournament of Power, so that doesn't make any sense.
Let's read the card. So first of all, so the Maiden Squadron Kakunsa, she's a 4-drop 20k crit. If Rebrand and Rosie are in play in your battle area, this card gains dual attack. Maiden Squadron Rosie, she's a blocker. At the end of your turn, if Rosie and Kakunsa are in play in the battle area, switch this card to active mode. Where is her version of March? I'm looking on the site right now for it. Always the last card. Always the last card. Yep. So Maiden Transformation. It's a 4-drop. 2 mandatory in green. Activate main. Choose up to 2 Maiden Squadron with energy cost 4 or less in your drop area and play them.
That sounds like cheating.
I mean,
they get disqualified from the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw early on that rules didn't really abide by in the Tournament of Power spoils.
As long as it was cool, it was allowed.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I don't know, man. I just the whole choosing thing. Like, I really not a fan on how barrier was done. So that's neither here nor there. One thing I'm excited about, man. There's just a lot of strong cards in green, and we're getting the blue stuff on Friday because last week we didn't get anything because of the Draft Boss 2 came out. Speaking of which, Draft Boss 2 still available at beardcollectibles.com. I have plenty. There were stores who decided not to pick them up, so I bought extras. If you need to order, by all means, go ahead and order. They can ship same day. Crazy how that may sound. But the leaders, right? Some people were first upset about Hercule, right? So I want to go back and talk about Hercule. Because there has been numerous reports from what I've seen. Either people are trolling or people have found the way of the champ, I would say, and are winning tournaments with Hercule. I don't know if this is just draft. I don't know if this is just draft games per se, or actually tournaments. It sounded like one guy said he topped 8 and they split. But
yeah, but top 8 out of how many is very relevant.
I mean, you're not wrong. So one of the things that I didn't realize, or I guess I overlooked, was on his front side says activate battle, right? Once per turn. So you don't have to activate that when Hercule's swinging.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of nuts. But I still think his backside is. I wish
trying not to flip. That's probably part of why Hercule's good.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking of. Like, probably has blockers, plays a ton of blockers, probably plays a ton of negates, and just doesn't flip. Because, I mean, on the back, that's the issue. Like, if you I'm gonna try something out. I'm gonna build a Hercule deck. I'm gonna try it out and see if it works. Because I have an idea and go from there. I'm excited about building the Bardock deck. The simple fact that he's able to rest your opponent's guys on the backside just leaves so many things open to like, for example, Gohan and stuff like that. But crap, if they have Barry, you can't choose them.
I'm really probably going to try to build Zenzu being Goku, even though everyone says it's bad.
I don't listen to what everyone says. I try to gain enough experience and see how I like the card or how the deck functions. Because, perfect example, I told Tyler, don't play Dr. Mew at the regionals, and it was probably the most explosive deck. It was just so fun to watch. and the amount of people that wanted to see that deck was absurd. I was like, holy shit, son! Like, forgive me for he missed top. I won't say by a few, but I feel like if it was top 64, he would have gotten in there if I'm not mistaken on his record. So, yeah, I mean the Sun Goku, the full power Goku, like it looks beautiful, right? In person. I'm excited to
I think we're
see.
talking about the same Goku.
Which Goku you're talking about?
I'm talking about that lame red one that says discard a card, get 5K for the turn. From
Oh, you're
like
talking about
Set4, I think.
set one, draft box one, right?
No, that guy's garbage. The one I'm talking about is red. He's like an uncommon or something. He's not even a rare.
What's that?
I think he's in Set 2, man.
Set two. So
He's
it's
a red
fun.
leader. He's like discard any card to get 5K on your front, but on the back it's for the whole turn.
So it's funny because let's see here. Yeah, so he's actually the second card in the set. He's an uncommon. Once per turn, activate battle. Place one card from your hand in the drop area. This card gains 5K for the duration of the battle. On the back, he gains 5K for the duration of the turn.
Right, so he's a red Saiyan, so you can play the new negate that gives you 5K. Then you also have Zenzu Bean, because still Zenzu Bean. Then you have his power, so potentially you're always going to have plus 5K on the block.
Sure. I mean, build it. Let's try it. Let's try it in house. I mean, one of the ones I still want to tinker with even more. People absolutely don't like them. Is the Machin Vegeta leader? Like, I think that card is so much better than the blue Vegeta that people were playing for the longest, because you can do it late game, and you can there's in this game there's so many cards that you draw cards off of that you can just pitch a deck card, and then
Yeah, I think the card's better post Set 3 than he was when he was released, though. Like,
I just always
okay.
I just thought he wasn't as bad as people made him out to seem.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if you play the guys that have benefits from having a low hand.
Or that, or you can feed into old realm stuff. Like, so one of the cards that surprised a lot of my opponents at ARG Orlando was Scientist Few, the promo. Like, holy shit, that card is bonkers. I didn't realize it. Sure, you got a old realm 7. Sure, just gotta have 7 in your discard and pay 1. And then you get a 25K double strike out. And then you draw 2 cards if it's not bloodlusted. Card is nuts. Guys, if you do not have your Scientist Fuse, the promo's out right now. By all means, I'm telling you right now, go pick them up, because prices for that card will go up. It's crazy on how good that card is.
He sounds like a real game ender.
Dude. Well, yeah, because so at first, right, I was so against the black cards, the old realm aspect, but it's something you really got to think about, because like it pushes you into a different mindset, right? When you old realm a card, your opponent may or may not be expecting that, because you're literally not paying anything besides moving cards from your discard to your war or graveyard to your exile or banished area, whatever you want to call it. And just to get that final push is all you need, and then your opponent is dead. So, card is nuts. So
sounds like it.
Yeah, you can. I'm probably gonna make a deck profile on the Ball Strike Dark Prince Vegeta, and go from there. Yeah, expect that in the next coming weeks. I'm still tinkering on it. I'm still debating how I'm gonna create it, or how I'm gonna modify it, because right now I have it as red green, but again, Senzu Bean is a thing. But I don't know if I need Senzu Bean. But also Monaka is pretty clutch, because you gain double strike. So, yeah. So that's that.
I don't know if people actually play Monaka outside of Frieza, though.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Yeah, because you don't want to let your opponent know that it's double strike, because then
then you just get negated or whatever. Chomp is just always gonna be a better choice.
100%. Okay, yeah, I agree with you on that. 100% agree with you on that.
Because even though Monaco draws you a card, Champa gives you that 10k, and it doesn't matter what color you pay.
Yep. Yeah. So also, guys, something you have to keep in mind when you build decks, right? Even though you play a red leader, you don't really need to play red or that same color cards. You can mix it up per se. I always see players who play blue leader and think they have to stick to blue. Well, not really. If your leader doesn't say doesn't have the requirements or doesn't need those requirements to get their buffs, or there's any other card in your deck to get buffs, you don't need to stick to that certain color. So,
well, even then, like I play green blue untapped Goku, and his power only affects blue energy. I don't care.
yeah, and I'm gonna I still have that deck put together. I really enjoy that leader. Um, what do you think? But unfortunately, like I feel like Super Saiyan 3 just does it better right now.
I don't. I don't at all.
No?
Nope. I really like the idea of black cards in the deck because you can push another play on that turn. Like the reason the deck I always thought it was so good was because when people think you're done, you normally have another play left. Now you have the black cards to add to it where you still have another play after you've already done everything else.
Yeah, I guess the reason why people came to that assumption, just assuming at the moment, was because of Mecha, right? You had to keep up with Mecha, or you died. You had to keep
Well,
up
the
with it.
reason I think Green Blue Goku fell off was just because like the way the deck works, if your guy gets bloodlusted, it puts you way back. And it's hard for you to plan your turns out expecting a bloodlust every turn because Mecha Frieza draws so many cards. I think he'll definitely be relevant again post the first.
I wonder if that's the reason why that Super Saiyan Gotenks drops like $1.
Yeah, the card's like butts when it gets negated. You're like, cool, I paid 5 for 25k. Vanilla. Great.
Yeah. You mean Bloodlusted though, right?
Whatever. I guess I have to say bloodlusted because negate's actually another thing in this game.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where I'm excited to see the more unique decks, right? And right now we are in a special time frame, right? So we're at the end of the regional season. Mecha was errated on the first, but there's a lot of stores that put that into effect before the 1st of May. And next month, and then we got the draft leaders last weekend. Next month we get Tournament of Power, and then in 2 months we get Set4. We're in a special time frame right now where you can start brewing your decks, guys. Don't go and wait for like a top tier player per se to go just put out a deck list and just copy that deck and like go experiment with some things. Go try a leader that no one's thought of. Go do something and be your own person. Bring something to light. Like I can guarantee you that no one was playing Dr. Mew until they saw Tyler's deck on stream. And then guess what? There's a lot of people playing Dr. Mew right now. Go be that person is what I'm saying. So
No, we played Dr. Mew because GT's awful. But that's not really.
it's I feel like Dr. Mew can get better as sets go on. So I feel like it's we just gotta wait to see. So next topic I want to talk about, again, thanks ARG for making me bounty player. Thank you for putting on the event. Just wish it was top 64. Just that's the recap for that segment. So something you guys may have noticed recently is that on my site, beardcollectibles.com, when you go there and click under like sealed and Dragonmar product, you're probably wondering, yo, Beard, what's going on? How come there's a lot of Ginyus, promo Ginyus on your site? Well,
Nobody wondered that, but you can go ahead and explain it anyway.
Well, I'm gonna. I actually got a message. Thank you very much, Tony.
Okay, well, one guy wondered.
It wasn't okay. Anyways, so what's going on is that I'm taking all my inventory from Dragon Ball, Final Fantasy, and Destiny off of TCGplayer, and I'm going to just put them up on my site. My name is big enough, I want to say in those three, that people know about me and can go there and order stuff. And I'm very competitive with TCGplayer prices. So instead of buying it from like multiple vendors off TCGplayer, you can just go here, go to a trusted source who sends you near mint cards, and go that route. I always, every other day I check TCGplayer prices and price match and stuff of that nature. I price match really my competitors, not some Joe Smo who just created a store and like tried to nuke a card. What I mean by that is that people who just started on TCGplayer don't know what they're doing when they price cards. So if someone lists a card for $4.99 and the shipping is 99 cents, what that person listed it as to ship, technically it's a $5.98 card, right? Well, no. The next person goes behind them and they try to post the same card for $4.98. So that person just decreased the value of that card by $1 just because they didn't know what they were doing. So I don't agree with that. So that's why I'm having pulling everything on this site where you can search by set, search by foil or non-foil, color, and card type. It's taking me a little bit longer than I expected for Dragon Ball, but by all means, it will be up, and I will make a big announcement. Probably do a big giveaway for it when it's live. And yeah, I'm excited about bringing it back in-house because I did my taxes, guys, and fees I paid TCGplayer last year were absurd to sell on their platform. So TCGplayer takes anywhere between 5 to 15%, depends on what you sell. And yeah, it was way up there. Like I was paying like a very expensive membership fee to sell on their platform. And I just feel like I have a shop. People know about Bearded. I'm just bringing it back in-house.
Not to discredit TCGplayer. Like, it's great for, it's better for players than it is for real stores.
Exactly. But something you can see when you go on there, right? The big name stores do not sell on TCGplayer. What I mean by
for the reason that you just mentioned.
Exactly. 100% get that. As I'm looking through right here, the only one that I see that's on here that's big per se, I would say would be ARG. But even that, their prices are always on the higher end. I don't think they sell much. I could be mistaken. Maybe people just go straight to ARG always and just buy. But I'm gonna be very.
And there's also the chance that ARG just puts let's say overstock. Something they have way too many of, and they can't move or aren't moving. They'll throw it on TCGplayer also.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the commons and uncommons that you have 400 of. If you have them in two places, you might have a better chance of getting rid of those.
Yep, 100% agree with you on that. So, and I'll be keeping I'll be using TCG to really track inventory, but it's going to be per se somewhere where a player can't buy it. It's just going to be on the back end. All the inventory will be on beardedcollectibles.com. Also because of the fees, because I'd rather pay 2.7% on transaction fees and 15% per se on when the card sells, which is crazy to me. And then every order will come with tracking. So, and I'm probably gonna say any single order over $30 gets free shipping, and stuff of that nature. Because currently, right now on the site, anybody who orders $175 or more gets free shipping. But I wish I could separate that from sealed and singles. I think I can. Maybe I can. We will see. We will see what I can do. Actually, not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think people would enjoy that.
Yeah, because who doesn't enjoy to know when your cards ship, where they're at, tracking? One of the things I hate about TCGplayer is that they've created this environment where people, they could buy a few cards and it'd be 50 cents or whatever. But the thing is, in certain card games, 50 cents of cards could be 20 to 30 cards. Well, I can't just ship that in a plain white envelope with just a stamp. It needs to be tracked. So now it's costing me money, the store. And
plus, you got to pay fees on it.
Yeah, and then I got to pay fees on the whatever. And the issue comes down to that they created this environment where people think that plain white envelope is okay. Well, there's no tracking, and guess what? If a player tells TCG they never received the card, the TCG just takes the money.
You're paying for it again.
Yeah, I'm paying for it again. So like it's like damn if I do, damn if I don't. And I don't know. I told the CEO of the issues last year when I saw him at Gen Con, and he said that no, players won't go for that, and just totally kind of blew me off in that aspect. Like, granted, Chetty's he did a great show for us. He fed us, did stuff, and I gave him my feedback, and he just totally disagreed with me. And when I see him again at Gen Con, I'm gonna tell him again, you need to implement A, lower fees, because this is ridiculous, and B, you need to mandatory have tracking on all of the products, because plain white envelopes, yeah, I mean, I just don't like that. So,
I mean, the fee part, can't tell a business to charge less. I get that part, but like, I think the tracking is good for protecting the sellers as well as the company itself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, 100%. Hopefully they'll listen or ignore me yet again, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I'm here at this buffet that you set up for us at Gen Con. Again, I'm gonna tell you what I know, and then I'm gonna go get some free beer." So, by the way, if you guys haven't are not planning to go to Gen Con, you should totally change that. That should be the first regional. I know that Origins is going to be like some 3v3 Team Wars stuff, whatever. Don't know about that. And supposedly level 2 judge test is supposed to be at Origins. Again, this is what I've heard. I am going to Gen Con again. I had a blast last year. Last year was Gen Con 50. It was nice to see all the Pan-Z players that I played with in the past. It was nice to see new faces. Speaking of which, and one of the things I want to recap, and I completely forgot until I just remembered about the new faces portion. When I was at ARG San Jose, it was so good to hear players come up to me and say, "Hey, Beard, I bought my first box from you. Thanks for, the community and stuff. But sadly, right now, I have like 6 LGSs and I buy stuff from them. I wish I could buy from you, but I don't." And I'm like, dude, like, that's the whole point. Sure, it sucks that you're not buying from me, but your local store should be running stuff for you, because unless you live in Florida, I'm not, or in Orlando or in the Central Florida area, I'm not your local game store. So that's why I always say support your LGS, otherwise support the Beard, and then your LGS will start seeing all the money they're missing, and then hopefully start picking up the game. So it's kind of a catch-22 per se. I just want to do anything I can to help the game grow and stuff of that nature. So, and hopefully the people that I saw at ARG San Jose will also go to Gen Con so we can talk, go out, have a few drinks. Hey, hopefully, we'll probably recap the same thing as we did last year and almost get into a fight at a White Castle at 3 a.m. So
nice.
So, what else do we have on the agenda? So Set4, Tournament Power is still available up on pre-order at beardedcouples.com. The first 50 players who order a case, it doesn't matter if you order 5-6 cases, is one playmat per shipping address. So we'll get a customized playmat limited to the first 50 locals. If you play locally, you'll be able a chance to win them as well. But these are limited playmats.
Have your grandma order the case. Just saying.
What was that?
So if you want a second mat, have your grandma order the case.
I guess, yeah. There's people that there's people that have asked me, "Hey, I want to buy this now. Can I do it?" I'm like, "Well, I got all the playmats in. You just got to order the case, because going forward for every set, I will be doing a specialized limited edition playmat based on the set. And if you haven't seen what they look like, look at the Majin Boo's candy shop, because I have it listed there. So that's very important. It's just an additional plus to order from Beard. It'd be one of the first 50, and you get that playmat. I
think it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
even though it's not my flavor.
Well, I mean, sure, but I mean, a limited. Anytime somebody says limited edition, stuff is gonna move. B, it's the moment where, like, I combine a few few pictures of when like Goku and Kefla were fighting, and just the simple face of her on there when you knew that she fucked up, it's priceless. And people
You just see her dreams being shattered.
exactly. And when I actually used this mat at San Jose, and people loved it. So um, yeah, I can't wait for that. Tournament Power or the Set4 is going to be like Goku UI and stuff of that nature. Wait for that playmat. That playmat will be coming out soon. Can't wait for that. So there's going to be a lot of crazy things happening. We're not even at the end of the year yet. We're barely at the halfway mark of the year, and there's so much stuff happening. It's crazy. I can't wait. So last thing I want to talk about, guys. What do you guys think? Right? We all know ARG does regionals. We all know they do quarterly events. What do you guys think? How would you guys feel if Bearded Collectibles would do regionals? If they come, if I get Bandai support, do it with prize reports, or if I don't get Bandai support, do cash prizes. But instead of just doing it in Florida, do it nationwide, right? What do you guys think about that? And host a big regional, like the big finals, in Orlando.
There's got to be. It's home.
Well, yeah, home base. Well, for whatever reason, like ARG does theirs in Philadelphia when home base, I believe, is Ohio. So
nobody wants to go to fucking Ohio.
But what do you guys think, guys? Please comment down below. It's something I'm working on, doing like the first one in Orlando, and then doing other ones across the states, right? I'm not talking about like just Georgia and like close to Florida. I'm talking about California. Do one in Denver. Do one in Washington State. Do one, like New York, or there's stuff like that I'm working on. So, or New Jersey. New Jersey.
Why though? I'm just kidding.
Texas. What do you guys think, guys? And would you guys like to see like customized playmats going forward and doing like quarterly events as well, with options to get invited into the regionals or into the finals? I'm trying to work this out so that logistically sounds good for both me and partners and the players. I just want to hear feedback, guys. Would you guys be interested in that? Let me know in the comments down below, or let myself know via PMs. Tony, what do you think?
I think it'd be awesome. I think that would be like the coolest thing. It would be like you could also do a lot of things that ARG is not doing. You know how they do just specifically. Right now, it's mostly I think Force of Will and Dragon Ball. But you could pick up. I mean, I would force you to pick up Final Fantasy. Obviously, it'd still be Dragon Ball anyway, but
you had a sneak Final Fantasy in there, huh?
Less popular, I guess. Less popular games.
Well,
ones that still want events. You could add HeroClix because that would be nice. I don't know if HeroClix will let you actually. I think that's the reason nobody else does it. Or
maybe no one's tried. I mean, I don't know. I do know they have like their events or rock events and stuff like that, but I don't know. One of the things, guys, Bearded Collectibles, I don't really cater to the big three: Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic. I cater to specialized card games like Dragon Ball, Final Fantasy, Star Wars Destiny. That's one game I could add as well. You know what would be interesting, though, right? Is to add that Transformers TCG from WotC when it comes out.
Well, we'll have to see how that plays out. But, like, I don't know what day we could do it, but have you seen the new Brawl format in Magic?
Yes.
Yeah, that's super cool. I want to try that.
Yeah, we can try it at the store. I just gotta review and go from there. I mean, is it still a 100 card deck or is it a 60 card deck?
It's 60 cards and it's standard only.
Yeah, that should be fun. Be interesting though with 60 cards. So wait, I haven't read all the rules just yet, but is it still? I'm assuming you still start at 4 life, but if you take 21 commander damage, you die.
I didn't read the commander part. I read most of the rules because I was trying to eat dinner and reading it, and then I kind of got in trouble because I should have been dicking around on my phone. So we're all
Oh,
sitting at the
jeez.
table, and I'm playing on my phone. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, oh, probably not what I should be doing, I guess. But
Yeah.
one big change for it, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about Magic on the Dragon Ball podcast, but one big change for it is that your commander can be a planeswalker, not just a legendary creature.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting adaptation.
Yeah, for sure. And don't worry about talking about other TCGs on this podcast. There's people who came to me up in San Jose and actually told me they enjoyed hearing the variety of different card games.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't talk about it at all. I just don't want to go in depth about like a game that nobody. I mean, I don't say nobody plays because lots of people play Magic, but they're probably listening for the Dragon Ball content.
Yeah, well, I will leave you with this though, because since you brought up Final Fantasy, here's a fun fact. Final Fantasy mentioned at a store in Southern California, Card Games Coliseum. I know Henry. He's a good guy, and they mentioned that he's doing the Crystal Cup, right? So Final Fantasy North America posted this up on their Facebook, and I went in there and said, "Hey, how about you let other stores know how to get Crystal Cups?" Because I asked everyone, no one knows, and I think I got kicked from that group.
Did you really for that?
No, I'm kidding. Like, well,
I was gonna say because like that's pretty fucked up. You're trying to grow the game, and they're like, nah, fuck you.
yeah, no, it's literally on their page. So I don't know if they haven't responded because I haven't got notified of it, but hopefully they do soon because again, I'm still trying to figure out. No one knows how to. Do you get randomly selected? Do you? There's nothing I report to them when I run tournaments, so I just don't know. And it's annoying. I wish they would get their ducks in a row. There was actually
Well, they're starting to. I mean, they're really starting to, but
well,
sooner the better. You know what I'm saying?
it's interesting because for any of you that doesn't play Final Fantasy, you really should. It's actually a fun game, mechanically
Despite
sound.
how much shit he talks about it.
I talk shit about it because I want it to grow. All right. It's funny because the other day someone posted a how come Final Fantasy is messing up so much? It's been out longer than Dragon Ball has, and Dragon Ball has everything set up in place, and it's not even a year old yet. And I thought that was pretty comical when I was reading that whole thread. The thread got like 100+ replies, and I was just sitting back eating popcorn.
I mean, the short version is really Bandai's done this before. They've done it multiple times.
Yeah,
And Square Enix is not a card game company. They make video games.
yeah, and
So
I've
this
heard.
is a new thing for them. Even the games that they make aren't like PvP games. They're like RPGs. So you're basically playing with yourself. They don't try to come up with events.
Yeah, I've heard this argument before. My rebuttal to this is that um, I forgot what my rebuttal was.
Hire me, so I can just do it for you.
Yeah, hire Tony. No, it's just they mentioned a long time ago they were going to do judge stuff and never did. That's one of the things that irked me is that don't say that you're doing X and not do it per se, especially when you have a community as fragile as it is right now, because there's a lot of people that sold out on it, and hopefully, it grows going forward. But again, I will urge caution. It's a great game mechanically to play. My caution is that be careful. Don't drop tons of money on it. All I'll say.
Well, does that beer to collectibles and drop as much money as you want. I mean, what?
Yes, or that too. But I mean, I like to let people know because I stopped buying collections. I don't. I don't anymore because the game has gone in the shitter until it gets back up. So
I mean, it's more like the problem is like you said before, we are pansy Australia. Like the game's doing great in Europe. They have 100-man events all the time, but over here it's like because of the initial launch, the game just is having a hard time recovering from that.
and that's another thing I want to talk about. So as well as that, before it was a GTS, it was one distributor exclusive, and now 3 distributors are going to be hosting or being able to sell it. So that should open up the branch out to more stores because there were stores that were saying they didn't like GTS or didn't do business with GTS. And I've heard in the past about GTS playing favorites. I don't know. I have a pretty good pretty good relationship with my rep at GTS, so shout outs to him. I will never post this information public like someone has in the past about a different rep.
I will though.
And in the Dragon Ball group, I thought it was pretty funny. But
it's also rude as fuck, like to do somebody's personal information like that.
Well, it was even their business information I would never post. But also, I will say that promos. The other two places don't know if they're getting promos just yet because they're just getting the product in. You can't get promos if you're not a brick and mortar. Like I can't stress that enough, right? I can't just like if you're an online store only, you're not getting promos. And if you try to get promos, you're gonna have a bad time.
You a bitch. That's what
or
happens.
If you lie on your application that you're in brick and mortar, you're gonna have a bad time. So
gonna have a bad time.
Gonna have a bad time. But that's all I gotta say, guys. Tony, you got anything for this episode 27 podcast?
No, sorry that we've been not around. We're definitely gonna try to keep up with that.
Yeah. So, guys, again, we do apologize for taking so long to put out a podcast. Life happens. I'm sure everyone that listens can understand our whole, 5 listeners. We actually have more than 5. But, I just want to say thank you, because you guys can be doing anything else. You guys can be listening or watching YouTube or doing anything else, but you're taking time out of your day to listen to Tony and I rant and talk. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate the support. Anything you guys want us to talk about, let us know in the comments down below. As always, guys, support your LGS, support the beard. Everything for Dragon Ball is up right now, minus singles. Bear with me; those will be updated by hopefully this weekend. And other than that, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week. I promise. I really promise. Next week. Except for Raul. Raul's still banned.
He's still banned. He will not be back next week or ever.
Or ever. All right, guys. Have a good one.
But later.